This is my 2007 GTI that I just bought for $2,000, and as you can see, it's a giant pile of junk.
So in this video, we're gonna fix a bunch of things in this car and make it just a regular sized pile of junk.
Wow, I guess that Paul install option really works.
As you may know, Charles and I both just bought crappy Mark Vs. Me, a Mark V R32, him, this Magma Mark V GTI.
So in this video, Paul and I are gonna replace a ton of stuff, including headlights,
the suspension,
the exhaust,
the front grills,
brakes,
the high pressure fuel pump,
the interior,
and a whole lot more, because this thing is awful.
All right, we're gonna start on the interior. That way we can get it out and get it clean. Paul, are you ready to work on the inside of this car?
Yeah?
Also, I got you a present.
What's this?
It's time to suit up.
Oh. All right.
I got these so that you didn't have to, you know, experience this car like I did. An hour of no windows down. You ever worn a hazmat suit like this?
I haven't, but
there.
I'm glad to have the protection. Look at my skills. I got skills and he doesn't.
So, I think I have to put my beard inside. These are warm, by the way.
They are getting a little toasty.
Good thing the air conditioning doesn't work in this car.
Now, of course, before we could get started working, I had to let Paul jump behind the wheel and take it for a spin so that he could get the full Mark V experience.
Here we go. We're driving.
Driving a really nice Mark V. Magma. My gloves match that.
No, you're looking like
I like
got
this.
your nails did for date night.
It shifts better than mine. Ooh, maybe not. There's a lot of creaking and popping and locking going on.
Feels underpowered.
Oh wow, I didn't realize. I thought I was part throttle.
He loves it.
I absolutely love it. It's really nice. So, weird crunchiness when you're steering. Shifts a little odd. It's underpowered.
Sounds like a normal Mark V.
And it's gross inside.
Standard Mark V.
Fair?
Okay, we're gonna gut the interior out of this car so that we can start to clean it. But before we do that, I gotta get rid of this headliner hanging down. Look at the roof. Ugh. It's the whole headliner. All right, well, at least it's not hanging down.
You know what you've done now, though?
Just had us, now we're gonna touch it with our head.
Yeah, that's gonna be absolutely disgusting. Hey, Charles.
Yo.
You drove this thing a long time, right?
Yeah, with the seat loose.
Because the seat's not bolted in. Safety first, kids. So a triple square is like this. Well, it's so filled with disgustingness that I can't get this triple square thing. And that's why he gave me this job. And he's like, I'll get to work on this.
Stuff raining down on you. So I said, well, I'll do this part. So while Paul is taking the seat out, I'm trying to get all the pillars and everything out so we can get this headliner out. That way Paul doesn't mess his hairdo up when he touches this nasty glue.
All right, seat number one. Check out that floor.
Bro, what is even this?
I don't know how people get their cars to be this disgusting. It's like, what do you do? Are you just like eating in your car, but just like, bleh, bleh. Like just like some taste bad, you're just like, bleh, and you just spit it next to your seat? I don't know. This car is considerably more yucky than mine.
This wins the day for nasty.
Yeah.
Look at my quarters, much cleaner than Paul's quarters were. If you guys want some free M&Ms, just let me know in the comments. Yeah, so the pillars come off. This stuff comes off.
So Charles got these as a joke, but if you look, there is quite a bit of stuff all over me. So I'm kind of glad that we have these.
Are you gonna unplug that, or are you just gonna?
I'm unplugged, just struggling with this in this bracket. That's what we were looking for.
That's what. All right.
Look at that.
This was the disgusting stuff we were talking about.
This is what's raining down on top of our head. See this? I might hand this off to Charles so he can sweat for a minute.
I'm already sweating. Want to take a breather and let me try?
You go ahead. Do you take a swing at it? I wasn't getting so aggressive. I was trying not to get so aggressive, but apparently I'm dumb. I should have just done it.
Okay. Stirring up like 10 years of mold and nasty.
There we go.
Look at how gross it is underneath here.
Oh yeah. Rust, it's not too bad.
Oh. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
After stabbing Paul in the face, yeah.
He did
It
stab
probably is. I totally just stabbed him in the
directly
face.
in the forehead with that. Don't worry, it's only pointy and sharp with reckless abandon. Look at that.
You did a good job.
I did it.
Look at that. The line of dirt exposed. Oh, this is going to be the most satisfying part of this whole job is cleaning this. Look how nasty. It's like a chunky monkey. I feel like I released a new smell.
Yeah, there's new odors being conjured at every removal.
So the main reason, like, I don't want to take the parking brake off is that the parking brake, even though this is an automatic, is what holds the car from rolling away. So yeah, if I did that, Paul would get ran over. And I've already stabbed him. I don't want to run him over. That is 100% a teenager's sock.
This was inside of the gas pedal. It was stuck between the gas pedal and the carpet.
Hey, maybe that's why it felt underpowered.
Could be because it couldn't push the pedal all the way down.
I've never been more glad I'm wearing
I was
gloves.
going to say turned on in your life.
Yeah, that too. There we go.
Yay!
Oh, I think I actually got it out without breaking it. Be careful that it doesn't like pop you in the face.
Everywhere. Oh yeah.
Free crumbs.
Remove the crumbs from the car. That way we can uncrumb the car.
Here's the other half. That's so nasty. I bet the padding's worse though. Now we're gonna pull the pad out, which is also gonna be pretty gross. There's a like hole in the metal, like a gunshot. Yeah, that's right, because the plastic's broken right there.
This is where your heat comes from your floor. I gotta work with this guy all the time. This is where the heat comes out to your feet.
Even with the interior out, you can see the car still pretty nasty, but we're gonna have to save cleaning it for another time.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, we got a problem.
Oh, you spoke too soon.
See, this is the problem when you're sweating profusely. It's hard to know when wetness is blood.
Look
sweat
at my
like
shirt.
you.
Look at my shirt.
Oh, see, not me.
Look at the back of it.
my man's been cutting weight to make his fighting weight.
I got a wrestling match to get to. Why don't you handle your finger?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Show the front.
Oh, I think he already caught it pretty good.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
Trigger warning.
Yeah. This is not real blood. What you see we have here is the interior of the car out. It is absolutely disgusting. Charles is gonna clean that up because I'm not gonna, but we need to work on the bottom side of the car.
Now we're gonna do a classic Mark V move and modify the car before it actually runs right and is fixed, and put a turbo back exhaust on from our friends at Miltech. Also, Paul usually does this part. It sounds terrible. Luckily, putting exhausts on is generally pretty easy.
Exhausts are easy except for you have an old rusty car. That makes it harder.
Hopefully you didn't need that.
Okay, so taking off the rear muffler, we gotta pop off these. Oh, whoa, didn't expect it to come down on me like that. Okay. I've never had one do exactly that before.
No, same. We're gonna lower this guy down, and we have officially demuffleized this car.
So you might be wondering why we're doing an exhaust before we're doing any of these repair or maintenance parts. And that's because our goal with this car was to properly Mark V, and that's how you do it. You mod first, fix later.
Or just mod and never actually fix the car. What we're doing now is the connector for the downstream O2 sensor, which is the one further back in the exhaust, is behind this cover. So Paul's going to unconnect that.
So intake's got to come off because we need to get to the downpipe, which is on the backside here. Oh.
Did it come off on the other one? Wait, so Paul was loosening this clamp, but it actually just came off of this clamp. Cool.
So we lifted the car back up after we got it loosened up top, and now we're going out with our downpipe.
Woo! We did it!
We did it.
Now we're gonna put in the new freshy downpipe that goes to the turb ski. I'll put this guy on so that it's not hanging down, decapitating Paul.
He already did that to me one time.
Well, gotta get this pipe in. There we go.
The whole time I knew you could do it.
Thanks, buddy.
This is the worst part when you get dirt all the way up your. Actually, this dirt's not bad. It's when it gets to like here, that's when it really is unpleasant. Which way do it go?
Like that. Like that.
Yeah, that's what my gut says. Yeah.
Luckily.
Oh yeah, you look at you.
Oh.
He almost hit me in the head again.
That one would have been pulled. Got him.
You got it?
I got it.
Yeah, I knew. This whole time I knew you could do that.
All right, time for the tips. I got a tip for you. This exhaust looks real nice. I like to have the tips stick out just a little so you can see the Miltech from the top.
Okay, so we got our exhaust finished. Charles is inside the car. He's gonna fire it up and then we're gonna see what it sounds like. Yeah, no, that sounds pretty good. Now that our car sounds good, we're gonna do the same thing every other Mark V owner would do, and we're gonna slam it on the ground.
Here's the tech tip.
Tech tip.
When your wheel gets stuck on, you put a bolt back in, then you just do this until you get smart and go get a hammer.
I do this.
Paul likes to work harder than I do.
I just kicked it. He's going to get a hammer. He's going to slap.
Ugh, look at how crusty that looks. So because the way that those bolts came out, sadly, I'm just going to run this tap in, clean them up. So we have no more sadness.
Here's a spring. I took it out.
It's springy, the Springfield spring. We're replacing that for some adjustabilators.
Oh yeah, all right, that's all right.
Put that right.
So this is a lower control arm, this is an upper control arm, this is another arm. If we were trying to replace them all at one time, the entire suspension will just be just falling all over us. So
how's that go? Oh, yeah, that's pretty good.
So what we're gonna do is this one and this one together, and then we're gonna put this stuff on. Then we'll do this guy last.
My socket was still on the on the clamp for the exhaust. Had I not just knocked that off there, would have lost the
It would have
universe.
gone forever. You all right?
I got it. In this lower arm here, we have these 3 bolts. These are for the ride height sensor, and they screw into riv nuts. Unfortunately, our new arm does not have those threaded bits, so we get to drop some new riv nuts in. So now we can thread our bolts in. So we mentioned that we were lowering this car, and you might be thinking, hey bros, Mark V boys wouldn't actually do all this extra stuff. You're doing too much. What's up with that? Many of these links are not just stamps of metal. They also have bushings inside of them, and these bushings get worn out after 200K. Fresh bushings, which is why we're doing the arms. We probably could have got just the bushings for the arms, but pressing these in and out, not fun. So if you're thinking, well, I'm just gonna slam my car on the ground, I'm not replacing those, that's probably fine, but this is gonna make the car handle considerably better with all freshy new bushings. And we're not doing anything crazy like poly or nothing, just back with OEM action bushings that our man Pauly D delivered right to my shop, just like I tell you all the time. You buy parts from Paul, he comes right to your place and delivers them. Look at him out here installing them.
Here I am, installing them, delivering them.
A man of many talents.
Here I am. We do have a new website. If you can find it on the website, I'll come to your house.
I just mentioned how we're like doing all the suspension and bushings and like trying to do a proper job. Something we're not doing a technically proper job is hardware. All of these bolts that we are taking out are one-time use hardware, and we're not gonna replace them because it's probably $150 worth of dang bolts in the back end of this thing. So we're gonna 2-time use this hardware. This is okay to do on an impact when you're taking it apart, but not when you're putting it back together.
Hey, why are you taking
And
that
it
apart?
damages the seal, because I didn't know if it came with a nut.
You didn't impress me much with that.
He had the moves, but he doesn't have the touch.
I did have the touch. He's the one who's touching stuff he shouldn't be.
Hey, you just gotta take your time like this, extend it, push it all the way in, let it extend out. Yeah, just like that. You're doing a good job. This piece here, the new shock mount has a bushing in it. Yeah, we're definitely not slamming.
We're gonna go Stance Boy Nation.
Yeah, Stance Boy Nathan.
I'm gonna buy a white belt and white Oakleys and start vaping.
Now it is time to get our spring in, and this is our adjustable piece. So we're gonna set our ride height. I'm gonna put it at about 29 millimeters. We'll just make sure we do the same gap in the front, sorry, on the other side. We may make some adjustments after we get it all in the car, but we can do that on the car, so not a big deal. Adjuster goes up on top, like that.
Look at this, look at that.
And our arm will go in here, and then I'll have to squeeze it to get the bolt in. Did you get it?
Yeah, I got it.
Are you complaining? Why did I agree to this?
No, why would I say that?
When you're installing a new trailing arm, which does have a bushing in it, there is a measurement that you need to take before tightening down the trailing arm. The measurement on the old one was about 15 millimeters more than spec, probably due to the bushing being worn out.
That feel like 100 and something Newton, certain amount of Newton meters plus a certain amount of turns?
Click. Yeah, you do it just for
my
me.
own satisfaction.
He doesn't appreciate what I do.
Well, I actually don't think you had it tight enough. All right, let's get this guy back up in here. Get this guy started. Oh, there we go.
Oh, that made me mucho nervous, oh.
It was like...
If I wanted to be questioned about everything I do, I would go home and talk to my wife.
Yeah, or his kids. Or
Yeah,
anyone.
or anybody else. Yeah. What are you doing right now?
Brakes.
Oh,
The caliper
you're ahead of me?
Dude, I've been way ahead of you. All right, time for our brake. These pads actually look pretty good. We're going to replace them anyway. Clean these calipers. We're going to check our dust boots. When you pull on the dust boot like that, it should not come off. This should also rotate freely. We're still going to take these out and lubricate them. We'll clean all this stuff up, put new ones on. We're going to get this rotor off, hopefully anyway. With the old whack treatment. Just like that. Well, that doesn't look too bad under there at all. As you can see, it's real trashed, especially on the inside.
Cross-drilled Brembo rotors.
Oh, good.
Found at ShopDap.com.
Don't forget to click the Paul install button
Click
and make
the
sure he
Paul
comes to
install
your house to
option.
install it, just like he's doing right here.
You can find it on the website. I'll do it.
Paulie D comes to your house, does the thing.
Old and busted.
New hotness.
New hotness. I was really struggling for a second there.
Paul's clearly hit the wall. It's the Paul wall, where he just is tired and can barely stand. You can see by his face hole that he's just like, I'm out of energy.
Okay, suspension done. We're lowered down and check out and see what it looks like. And oh boy, it's like these prices. It's too damn high. We got some work to do.
So let's do the front, and then we'll adjust
circle
the
back to the rears. Okay, here.
Yeah. It's a two-man job. That's how you make a one-man job a two-man job. All right, so clearly we have moved to the front suspension of the car. There's a ton that we have to do to this. Coilovers, ball joints, tie rods, CV boots. We got an axle for this side, brakes, bushings.
Yeah.
Ooh, you gotta grab those BFI bushings and show them those dope BFI bushings.
These guys are fancy and red. Would be cooler if they were orange, but they're not. They go at the back of the control arms. They're upgraded and they give you better caster for better handling. I'm gonna get to work on disassembling this side of the car. So first thing I'm gonna do is take this axle bolt.
So while Paul is doing that, I have a new axle, factory axle, but unfortunately it has a broken CV boot. So I'm gonna put a new boot on it while you do that.
Great.
That looks like it came out real easy.
Yeah, this is the big boy.
Taste it.
This boy.
Taste it. So this is the used axle I bought, and it's got an aftermarket boot. You can tell because these are not the kind of clamps factory axles have. So the way I do my CV boots is, I throw a rag over the boot, take our little whacker, undo the clamp, slide this whole guy off here. If you have a boot that's split wide open, you're gonna wanna spend a good amount of time cleaning it. Ours wasn't split wide open. We're probably just gonna throw a new boot, add some grease, and send it on back.
Watch out, because these things will boing at you. This one can boing at you too. All right, so this special tool, it's for popping ball joints, or in this case, the tie rod ends. Makes your life a lot easier.
Aww.
It's not as
sounds
aggressive.
like a gun going off. That was mega disappointing. So Paul's gonna go up top and undo the 313s that hold. That's what's holding this whole contraption.
I almost fell just there.
I did. I saw you were. He was being irresponsible on Steppy.
Here we go.
Look at this beaut. As if these bearing tops aren't trash enough.
Yeah, it's 100 years old.
This is 100% the original suspension on this car. I have, Paul, a tool that I'd like to test drive on this piece. It's new. I've never used it before.
Okay.
So let's bring this over to a rolly boy. Okay, so this tool I've had for a really long time, and it's a spreader tool. And what you do is you put it in this little slot here, and then you twist this.
And it gives you more spread.
And it does that.
Someone's gonna break their knuckle with this thing.
Yep, and it might be us.
Yeah, you're doing it. You're doing it.
All right, just like Paul did with the tie rod, we are gonna use this ball joint press for ball joint. Ow! Hit me right in the knuckle. Look at how far this ball joint shot.
That thing shot far.
If it were Paul, that would have bled.
Yeah, because I'm a little.
He's a bleedy boy.
I'm a little bleeder.
Look at how fresh this is gonna look. up against this crusty.
So this is kind of interesting.
What's that?
The inner axle cup got stuck in the flange.
Oh.
If you look here, this right here is the inner part of the axle.
How does that even happen?
I've never seen that before. I think it's an aftermarket axle, it must be why. It's supposed to like sit on the backside here, but it came off and is stuck in the car. I could never get a lip on it from where I was, but yeah, the hammer up would work. There we go. Look at that, you did it.
Caught it, first bounce.
So we're gonna be replacing the rear bushings, and then we have to do the front bushing as well in this control arm. If you're just upgrading this bushing and not replacing the front bushing, you can do that in the car like this, like so. Now the body shield is just like slightly in the way. Here we go. A lot of times what will happen is these will dry rot and they'll like crack. You'll see it like crack through all the rubber here. This one's not really cracked, it's just old. So we got new bolts going on. These are one-time use, and we're actually gonna use them one time this time.
You're doing a fine job, Paulie D.
Thanks. Thanks for believing in me this whole time. Once we're done installing the front bushing on this, we'll install our bolts and torque it down.
Okay, now unfortunately, Paul forgot to loosen this tie rod in, but I have a tool, which is this little cup with a notch in it. We should be able to zing this tie rod end off. Now we shouldn't even really need much toe adjustment in the front because I didn't move that jam nut hardly at all. All right, and we'll spin our new one on. And I'm just gonna spin it all the way to the jam nut. That way we're pretty close on front toe. And we'll put the nut here so we don't lose it.
I spun our coilovers all the way down so that we'd have no tension on our springs.
Oh, we're not going dirt nasty low?
We aren't yet. We got our new strut bearings. This is one of the reasons why the thing was probably making so much noise. New strut bushings. Also probably one of the reasons why I was making noise. We're ready to put our coilover in. We're gonna hang it. Charles is gonna be up top tightening. The strut bushing here, it has an orientation. There are two arrows up top that actually have to go towards the car. So this little dingle, it faces out, the arrows front to back.
Started. Oh yeah, there we go.
Oh yeah, that feller's in there. He did it.
Easy.
He did it. Teamwork. Put our knuckle in. And we got our spreader on, so it should make our life much easier. Here we go, fancy new rotor on, and we're using a wheel stud holder to make your life easier so you don't have to drop it on the ground. Would you just look at it? And we got our new pad, EBC red stuff. Charlie's gonna try them out, and sensor, we'll plug that in once we go back in. I'm gonna tell Charles to come back and torque these later. And our outside pad is a 200,000 mile red. This is a 0 mile red.
Can you color match those reds for me?
I'm not doing it.
Thought we were friends.
We were, until you invited me to work on a Mark V.
Well, is it better or worse than a Mark III is the question.
Oh, that's a fair point. There we go, brakes, coilovers.
For the final bit of our suspension, we will install our axle and a new bolt, as well as the control arms on both sides that got new bushings front and rear. Reinstall the subframe and do the same thing on the passenger side. Now, we had to do a bunch of stuff off camera, so if you wonder, like, did they actually torque that down properly? Of course, the answer is always yes.
Okay, next up we're gonna deal with our headlights. Now, normally you'd have to take the whole bumper cover off just to get the headlight out, but we have quick release headlights.
They also do this.
Oh, you're making a mess. So much bits. There's gonna be just like mass.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, that one's
a bit of a quick release headlight too.
Both the lights are like that. My man's driving down the road just like this.
Well, luckily they didn't really work anyway, so there wasn't too much of that.
I guess it keeps you on your toes when you're driving because you never know what you're gonna be able to see at any given moment. On my Mark V, about 50% of every connector I touched was broken. So I think this one's doing similar so far.
There we go.
Hey, you did it.
I got it.
I knew you could do it the whole time.
This one's not as rattly, but
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. So this is the fresh one. Charles got these on eBay. I also have the same ones on eBay. They look pretty solid for aftermarket lights. That bulb is a problem.
I think we got a problem here.
You got a big problem, my friend.
That's not gonna work. Yeah.
Sure.
Hey, there we go. That one.
Hey, we got one good bulb.
Yeah. All right. Shut it off. Well, it works.
Hey.
The only problem is this bulb is cracked, so that's a temporary thing. Paul, why did we both buy cheap eBay headlights for these finely tuned German engineered vehicles?
I like to say we've sunk enough money into a car that's not going to return the amount of dollars that we're spending on them. Good enough is good enough. Good enough.
So we're actually missing a handful of hardware that I didn't account for, like a dingus.
Like all of it?
Yeah, like all of it on the left side. So I just put one bolt in each headlight just so they're there. I got to get new bulbs. I got to get hardware.
Like a proper Mark V owner, we're gonna just make it look like it works.
Beautiful fog light and this crusty grill. Ooh, he juiced me. Look at that juicy boy. These little inserts were all cracked on this bumper cover, and I got some, I say new, but it was more like used, new to us. And we're cleaning the yuck out of it so they actually might sit flush. Those oranges don't match at all. We also have this crack right here. We're just gonna work around that. So this is the lower grill piece. Ooh, looks so good.
So Charles opted for a brand new, genuine VW grill. Found at ShopDap.com. You ready?
Up and over.
All right, that guy clips in. Look.
Ooh,
Look at that.
actually super good.
Brand new. Factory VW emblem going in. Also, ShopDap.com.
All install box. This is what happens. He'll come and do your emblem too.
I won't do that.
He will. It looks great.
It looks awesome.
The whole car is different now.
Yeah.
Well, the front anyway. It looks good, dude.
I like it. So right now, Charles is actually trying to pop the clip off the DSG thing because we think there's an adjustment issue in the cable that allows the thing to not go into park properly, and that's why there is no park.
So what I did was I popped the clip off the little arm in the transmission. All right, I guess the only way to know is to set it on the ground and see if it rolls.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
Correct.
And possibly the most practical repair, look at, after adjusting the cable, it actually holds park.
Up next, we're gonna replace our broken high-pressure fuel pump.
Charles and I have both done DIYs on this at some point. You just gotta crack them loose and then you slowly kind of walk it off. A little bit on that one. A little bit. Oh, you see it pop it like it's hot? You see that? Very good now. You just don't want to take them all out at one time. They'll get all bound up. We have to see how much we can get that fuel line out. Can we get it out all the way with that rubber line?
Moment of truth.
Okay.
Did he make it 800 miles home and still needs a cam? How's the pump look?
The pump
looks good.
So this, what we're looking for here is to see if this is all worn off and damaged. If you go all the way through the follower, it would be damaged. Okay, so it is worn a little. You can see the coating is off of it. Now the service on that cam follower is the reason why people get these. This is a stud kit we offer, ShopDap.com. So this cover right here, these threads go in here, so people take them in and out a lot of times, and it ends up stripping this cover eventually. This cover is about 900 bucks. What we do is we put studs in there, that way you won't have to come in and out all the time. You thread lock them into your cover here, boop, like that. Problem solved, no more cover problems. So we're installing our studs on our car. We're gonna be using the 2-nut method. You run one nut on, then you run another, then you lock them together, and it allows you to use a wrench to tighten them down.
While Paul is finishing installing the studs, I'm going to rebuild our new high-pressure fuel pump with the 034 high-pressure fuel pump upgrade. This replaces the piston inside of the high-pressure fuel pump. While not needed, this is a little bit of future-proofing for modifications down the road. This swap is pretty straightforward, but a key is you want to use a new high-pressure fuel pump because dirt and contamination can ruin both of these parts. We're going to pull the old piston out with the spring. We're going to unbolt the collar, build the new one with the 034 parts, and install it. I'll probably work on a full step-by-step DIY at some point, but for now, let's let Paul get this thing installed.
Charles has our pump rebuilt with the upgraded pump. We're gonna drop our follow in place there, and then we're gonna drop our new pump in, new and upgraded pump with our studs. The studs do make it slightly more of a pain to get it in, but you can still do it. I believe in you. Next up on this car is going to be all the fluids. On any car that has that many miles, the first thing you're going to want to do is change all the fluids because you never know the service history.
After you slam the car and put an exhaust on it.
Yeah, after you put it on the ground.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the filter. I'm going to lift the car up and drain the DSG fluid. Then I'm going to run the engine oil flush, which takes about 10 minutes at idle, while we warm the car up so that we can check our DSG fluid. Here is our old filter. And then here's our new one. This actually doesn't look all that bad, but since we have no clue of how old that other filter was, we're just gonna go ahead and put a new one on. Now we can go ahead and drain our fluid. Remember, this has like a primary drain plug and a secondary. That actually doesn't look too bad at all. Pull this inner plug out too. All right, time to fill our little Death Star DSG Philly guy here. And we're just going to use this to pump all the fluid into the transmission. Here's a bit of a comparison of the old fluid that came out of the car and fresh out of the bottle. So yeah, it doesn't actually look all that bad. Better safe than sorry though. We'll put our little measuring straw. That's basically what this is to help you get the fluid level right. Now we take this little hose end of our tool, fit it right on in there, pumpy pumpy, until our Death Star has no more fluid in it. Now we got to put the scan tool in, fire up the car, let it warm up. This is going to let our engine flush run and get our temp right in our transmission to check the DSG fluid.
To properly set the transmission fluid level, we need to wait until the temperature is at 35 degrees Celsius, and with the drain plug out, you should get a tiny, tiny stream of fluid coming out. If you want a more in-depth video, I've done a step-by-step DIY on changing DSG fluid.
We're gonna put it up, drain the oil, change the filter. We're gonna do that right now, watch. This is where we're probably going to make a really big mess.
For engine oil, we're going to be using Liqui-Moly 5W40, and I'm adding MOS2 to this 220-something thousand mile engine.
Now you probably remember the very first thing Paul and I did was gut the interior of this car, and then we completely abandoned it. Initially we were going to put it all back together and clean it, but it's actually much worse than we had planned for, and Paul got too scared to clean anything. So I think we're going to save a full interior detail for a separate video. All right, for wheels, to get rid of our drive-by feel wheels and to have a better set of tires, we are going to test fit the 7.5 English Towns, which have pretty much brand new Humo V730 sticky boys on them.
As I mentioned, this car, too damn high. I don't know about you guys at home, but every single time I adjust coilovers, I always adjust them the wrong way. Okay, and we got some sweet meats.
Ooh, look at his meat.
Look at these sweet meats we got here. They're nice meats, and these wheels, I have to say, these wheels with this black and silver with the orange are gonna look awesome.
I did a good job having those left over from another car.
This is what happens when you hoard cars. You just end up with lots of different wheels.
See, also for you kids at home, don't worry, he's gonna torque this after
I torque
sticks it. If not, I will.
Okay, so first of all, I love these wheels on the car. The two-tone nature along with the orange looks awesome. As far as how low it is, you're still a little more than 2-finger gap. It could stand to go a little lower, but for a car you're gonna actually like drive around daily and not have super slammed, probably gonna stand to go a touch lower.
Another 1/2 inch down, I think that'll be perfect. I had some spacers for it, but I actually think it's not gonna need it with these wheels on it. It looks pretty dope.
Yeah. Okay, so even though we make a lot of Mark V jokes, I think that this car looks pretty solid.
Yeah, you know, we spent a bunch of time, we spent a bunch of money to get it where it is now, but I gotta tell you, dude, it looks better than I expected it to.
After all this work, a 230,000 mile Mark V is gonna be a pretty solid car.
Yeah, so I think that's a good place to end. Make sure you check out Paul's Mark V series, and we probably got more stuff coming on this soon, so bye.